You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Bit Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Season 9 still going strong, people. If you haven't, make sure you go to thebitscoopwithcoop.com to check episodes from Season 1 all the way to Season 9. Big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Facebook right now. Facebook.com/thebitscoopwithcoop. Also, everybody that's watching on Instagram. Thank you very much for tuning in. IGTV. That's right. Catch me at Big Scoop with Coop. Also on YouTube at The Bit Scoop with Coop. Make sure you click like and subscribe. Now, everybody, today's guest, she's been doing a lot of things. She's helped so many people over the years in their career and in their personal life. Her name is Miss Doreen Rainey. Now, Doreen has been doing a lot of things. She's been helping a lot of people out by mentoring them, giving advice, teaching them how to become successful in their career, in entrepreneurship, CEOs, even in their personal life. So I want you to make sure you do go check out her podcast. It's called Radical Success. Also check out her website, DoreenRainey.com, and check out her institute. It's called Radical Success Institute. She's also the senior vice president of Steve Harvey Global. All right, guys, let's chop it up with Doreen. Let's see what's going on.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited for this conversation today. So I think it's going to be a good one.
Oh, of course. Now, Doreen, how's your day going so far?
So far, so good. I am actually visiting with my dad for the first time in a long time. And so I am excited to see him and, mask on when we get together. But it was just good to visit. Yeah.
Nice. Now, Doreen, like I said, a lot of people, they know you. You're doing big things, especially for the Radical Success Institute, that you've changed a lot of people's lives over the years. You helped a lot of people. A lot of people has done great things off of your teachings that you have done and the advice you have done. But we will get into that in 1 minute. For the people that must have been living under a rock, that don't know who you are, we're going to actually discuss how this all started for you. Now, when did you first realize that you wanted to become a coach, to help people with their success in their career and their life?
Yeah, so my background in the corporate world is in human resources. And I spent about 15 years in HR dealing with employee relations, compensation, training and development, and to realize during my career in corporate America was how many people depended on their company for their happiness and their success. And I always found that a little strange because your company is just one avenue to what you want your life to be. And sometimes that company may not even be the avenue you may discover. And it always fascinated me when people wouldn't take responsibility for their own. I should be making more money. You should be paying more money. You should be doing this. My boss should be doing that. And no one was ever looking at them in order to find fulfillment in my career and in my relationships and in my family. And so when people would come to me to express their concerns about their career or things like that, the first thing I would ask is, if you were to take full responsibility for this situation, what would you do? And I found myself coaching before coaching was coaching. And then I decided that I wanted to be able to help more people take more responsibility for themselves and know that they're capable of creating what they want in life. And that's when I decided to transition out of corporate and do this coaching thing as an entrepreneur.
Wow. So you took, as what Steve Harvey would say, that jump. You took that leap of faith and you went out there and you did big things. You really did. Ladies and gentlemen that's watching worldwide right now, make sure that you get a pencil, a piece of paper, a pen. your computer. I want you to take notes because Miss Rainey is gonna be dropping gems through this whole conversation. So I want you to make sure you do pay attention to this. Now, Miss Rainey, you jumped, you took a leap of faith, everything started rolling for you. Now, what type of hurdles did you go through when you first started to get to where you at now?
Yeah, I love when you said, "Oh, you jumped, you took a leap of faith, and everything started rolling." Well, rolling is is relative. As with any entrepreneurial journey, we are always faced with the reality of our dream, right? We go into business, we take a jump, we take a leap of faith because we have this dream and we have this vision of how this dream is going to play out. And then reality sets in and you realize, oh, wait a minute, I need a marketing strategy. Oh, wait a minute, I need a branding strategy. Oh, wait a minute, I need to make sure I have a good group of people coming in every day that want my services. And a lot of times, especially for service-based entrepreneurs, we know that we can deliver the service, but we forget about all of the other components of running a successful business. And
Mm,
so it took me a couple of years, like anybody else, to kind of get my footing. I knew I could deliver, right? If you're a stylist, you can style. If you are a business coach, you can help somebody with their marketing. If you are a life coach, you can help someone with their goals. But as a CEO, that comes with a whole other set of skills that many entrepreneurs haven't honed when they take that leap of faith.
wow. And you know what? And that is so true because when you actually start a business, a lot of people think, and I can't speak for the whole world, but I think a lot of people think that, oh, I have a business. The only thing I need to do is just hire some employees. I know how I want it to go, and it's going to go exactly what's in my head. But truth be told, when you're in a job, I don't care if you're from a janitor all the way up to a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, things is going to happen and it's going to get in your way, and people have to learn how to actually overcome those boundaries. And I think, Ms.
Yeah.
Rainey, you stepped in for a lot of people and you help people jump over those boulders that was actually coming to them. Now, you've learned this stuff from corporate America and you learned this stuff from research, but did you have any mentors to help you out when you first started saying, hey, I want to take this route in life?
Absolutely. I think having mentors, having coaches, having consultants, all of those components should be a part of your strategy to grow your business. And early on, I connected with coaches to help me in different areas of my business. I worked with a coach around marketing. I worked with a coach around speaking. I worked with mastermind groups around growing the business, scaling the business, moving from, four figures to five figures, from five figures to six figures, from six figures to seven figures. And so if anyone is out there and they're trying to figure this out on their own, you are doing nothing but delaying your success, or you could be deterring your success, not even delaying. And it takes someone willing to invest in help, invest in support, invest in coaching to help them get where they want to be quicker, faster, sooner. I am not interested in reinventing the wheel. And I'm also not interested in having to learn things from my own experience. Experience is not the best teacher. Someone else's experience is the best teacher. So if I can find a coach who can tell me, oh, you need to avoid doing this, or you shouldn't do that, or that's not going to work, or be mindful of this, then it just cuts my learning curve and it allows me to reach my milestones and my goals quicker, faster, sooner.
Wow. Now, see, you said one word and that really caught my attention. It probably caught a lot of people's attention. You said the word invest. Now, when people say invest, the first thing coming to their mind is just financially. Now, there's different types of ways of investing. Now, when you say invest, can you go more in depth in this? What do you mean when you say invest?
Yes. So when it's time to invest in your business, invest in yourself, invest in your goals, there are two types of investments. There's sweat equity and then there's cash equity. Those are the two types of investments you can make. Sweat equity means, you know what? I'm going to take on these YouTube videos. I'm going to read all the books. I'm going to trial and error. I'm going to work and see what other people are doing and see how I can apply that to what I'm doing. And it's the sweat, right? It's the, I got to get in here and figure this thing out. And then there's the cash equity that says, oh, if I pay you this money, you just going to tell me, you're going to show me, you're going to help me, you're going to cut my timeline, you're going to cut my learning curve, you're going to get me faster to the cash, then let me pay you. And in my career, I've done a little bit of both. When I first started, I didn't invest a lot of money. It was a lot of sweat equity, learning things, how to do things for myself. And then as the business grew, I knew the importance of being able to invest with cash. And if I look back over the last, 15 years of my business, I've probably invested in terms of just coaching and mentoring and education. I've probably invested anywhere between, $300,000 and $400,000.
Wow. Now, you see, ladies and gentlemen, is watching worldwide right now. There's a reason why Miss Rainey knows what she knows. She has put the time and the effort in, and she has learned. I mean, from the best. I mean, when I say from the best, it doesn't mean there's had to be a certain person. The best could be in a book. It could be online. It could be from a person or people. So I hope you take this route that's trying to become a CEO, that's trying to start your own company, entrepreneurship. Make sure you invest your time. You heard it, sweat, cash. You put them together, see what happens. You will make success. You definitely will. Now, Ms. Rainey, talking about success, and man, this is your whole line, success. Now, in 2008, you started something. You really started something, and that something has been going and going and going to this day. Radical Success Institute. Let's talk about that. Tell everybody, what is this about and how can it be applied to their life?
So I founded the Radical Success Institute with our mission being to help people define success for themselves and get the guts to go after it. Because what I have found to be true for many people is that they can identify what they want. They can identify the goal. They can make the vision board. They can dream. They can look at, okay, this is what success looks like for me. The challenge is, do you actually have the guts to go out there and make it happen? Because getting that goal, getting that dream, getting that vision, it's going to require something of you that you have not been willing to pay up until this point. And so if that means I need to set boundaries with friends and family, if that means I need to adjust my spending so that I can pull more resources to help me get to my next goal, if that means I need to quit a job, start a job, take on an extra job, does that mean I need to go to bed earlier, wake up earlier? Does that mean I need to be inconvenienced? And most people aren't willing to pay that price. They don't want to actually take on the guts and the courage to go out there and do it, to be willing to fail, be willing to stumble, be willing to learn, be willing to, look a little crazy at times. But the truth is, if you want to be able to not just define success, I want this house, I want this car, I want to be this philanthropist, I want to be able to help this charity, but you also have the courage and the guts to make the necessary decisions to go out there and make it happen. That's what the Institute was all about. And so through our coaching and events and workshops and conferences, we really helped people have this internal transformation so that they could be strong and courageous enough to go out there and really make those dreams come true.
Wow. Now, right now, if people want to actually look up the Institute, what is the best way for them to actually get research on this and actually sign up for the Radical Success Institute?
Yeah, well, you can visit our website, radicalsuccessinstitute.com. We have a commitment to not just helping people succeed, but we also have a heart for coaches, right? I'm a life coach. I've been a business coach. We have this affinity to help those people who want to be coaches become profitable coaches. And so if you are someone who wants to help other people and you're not making consistent income, you're not making consistent revenue, you absolutely want to check out some of the things that we have at the Radical Success Institute. You mentioned Steve Harvey. For 5 years, I ran his Act Like a Success platform. And in that time, we were able to touch millions of lives. I was on his television show, his radio show. I ran his Success Institute. I coached his community around business growth and personal transformation. And what I know to be true is that everybody has this goal, but you have to be willing to step out and actually take action. And so we have, free resources. We have other resources that people can take advantage of just by going to the RadicalSuccessInstitute.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to the website. This is for everyone right now. I don't care if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur or you've been an entrepreneur for 40 years. Make sure you go to the website, use the resources. Make sure you've applied to your life and to your job, because awesome things can happen. Definitely can happen. So make sure you go check it out right now. No, not right now, because you're watching this interview. After this interview, go to the website. Check it out. Make sure you follow Doreen Rainey. You want to make sure you get all this information in. Now, since you was talking about the resources and talking about different things they can do, let's talk about this 7-step method that you have right now that will help people with their career path. Not to give too much away, can you just give a broad idea or a broad vision of the 7-step method?
Oh, absolutely. So I designed this radical success method probably, 10 years ago now. And thousands of people have gone through this process to really help them understand who they are and why they are, and who do they need to become to actually have the life they not only want, but absolutely deserve. And there's 7 steps in this method that people can take themselves through to really get a better understanding. And the steps is actually an acronym for RADICAL, right? The Radical Success Institute. And so if we want to briefly look at what those steps are, the first thing people need to do or be willing to do is to take full responsibility, right? The R stands for responsibility. And face the facts that you are where you are because of the choices that you've made. And if you want something different, you have to make different choices. Now, that's not to say that we aren't influenced by outside circumstances, right? A job loss, a job elimination, somebody abruptly leaves your life or comes into your life and it upsets circumstances. But those situations and circumstances, we still have to take responsibility for how we react and how we move forward. And so that first step in this process is really taking responsibility. The second step is the A, which stands for affirm. And you must know that no matter what situation you're in, you can affirm that you are smart enough, you are resourceful enough, and you have the ability to change your situation. And it's not like, I need to do something. No, the first thing you need to do is know that you can change your situation, that it doesn't have to be this way. Those things that are working in your life, you can amplify that. And those things that aren't working in your life, you can affirm that you can make a difference. And then the D means to decide, because now that you've taken responsibility and now that you know that you have the ability to create a new reality, now you probably have to make some decisions. Like, what does that look like? What do you need to start doing? What do you need to stop doing? Who do you need to connect with? Who do you need to disconnect with? What do you need to learn? What do you need to unlearn? And making decisions around that you can actually take action on. And then the I is about investigate. And what I know to be true is that whatever it is you want to do, somebody else has probably already done it or done something similar. And so you can just go and become a little investigator and find these people and watch what they do, or read their books, or check out their blogs, or listen to their podcasts, right? Because there's information out there that can help you act on the decisions that you've just made. And then the C is to create. Now you can create your action plan. You know the decisions, you've investigated how to do it. Now you're going to create this action plan that's actually going to dictate timeline, goals, milestones, all those things that you need to do to create these new goals that you set. And then the A is for align. And alignment to me is critical. This is about, who do you surround yourself with? How are you aligned with your values? How are you aligned with the people in your circle? How are you aligned with being fed spiritually? Like, all of that is what keeps you going when you want to give up. And then the final step is the L, which is the commitment to be a lifelong learner. We are never done. right? We're never complete. We move from mountaintop to mountaintop. And so you have to be committed to this process every stage of your life. And that's, in a nutshell, that's the 7 steps for the radical method.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take these 7 steps. Try it, try it, try it. Now, Ms. Rainey, I do want to ask this because a lot of people, they're sitting there and they're listening to this right now, and they're saying, I need to do this. I need to do this. What will it take for them to get that push to step out there? Like when you said earlier, sometimes you got to separate yourself from your family. You know, you got to take care of business and what needs to be done. What do you think is a downfall for people to say, I need to do this, but they're not moving to do it? What do they need to do to get themselves moving?
So the first thing I think people need to do is ask themselves, what fear am I entertaining that has kept me from taking action? Because if what you say you want, but then you're not doing what needs to be done to get it, there's something else at play. And typically what's at play is a fear of failure, a fear of success, fear of judgment, fear of hurting people's feelings, fear that it won't work out, fear that I tried it once and I don't want to fail again, fear of losing money, fear of losing resources. Like there's some underlying fear around why you haven't taken action to do the thing you actually say you want to do. And so I invite people to, in a no judgment zone, ask themselves, what am I afraid of? You know, some people, believe it or not, have stories from their childhood that they may not even recognize. You know, I work with a client and she's saying she wants a 7-figure business, but her action power and they abuse the power. And so unbeknownst to her, she associated that if I made a lot of money, I would be evil. If I made a lot of money, I would be, you know, I would go, you know, use my power for, and we don't realize that. And so she was self-sabotaging herself. And so we really need to take a deep dive into what are these fears that keep us from doing the very thing we say we want to do.
Wow. So everybody, please self-examine yourself. Make sure you see what's going on. And if you feel like you can't self-examine yourself, Ms. Doreen Rainey is right here. You know, she will love to help you out. Make sure you get in contact with her. We will get her contact information, especially with social media, in a few minutes. So make sure if you feel like you want to start something and you have a fear of saying, I don't know, get in contact with Ms. Doreen Rainey. She'll make sure she'll help you out with this. Make sure you do that. Now, not only the website, Doreen, you have a podcast that's out there, the Radical Success Podcast. Yes, you're all over the place. Let's talk about that podcast. What made you decide that you wanted to start this podcast?
Well, I think it's important for me to get this message out, right? To get the message out that we not only have the ability to create success, we also have the responsibility to then help others become successful. And that purpose is what really drove me to do the podcast. I had the opportunity to interview some, you know, pretty snazzy people. I had the opportunity to connect with listeners. I had the opportunity to share some insights and things that I've learned over the years that can help people grow and help people advance. And it is an opportunity for me to continue to share these lessons that I've learned so that other people can take those lessons and create something beautiful in their own lives.
Nice. Now, how can everybody hear this, get in contact with this podcast and listen to it? What's the best way?
Absolutely. You can go to DoreenRainey.com, and that's where you can get the podcast. That's where you can get information around personal transformation. That's where you can check out our blog. And it's just an opportunity for you to connect with our community and then, you know, get some lessons and get some learnings of what I share inside of that podcast.
Nice. Everybody, make sure you go to DoreenRainey.com, put it in your favorites, hit that little star button in the web browser if you're using a PC, MacBook, same thing. Make sure you stay in contact with Doreen Rainey, especially on the website. You never know when she's dropping a new episode on the podcast. You never know when new information is coming up there. Make sure you go check out the website. Tell them one more time, Doreen. What's that website one more time?
They can go to DoreenRainey.com, and that's where you can get all the details of everything we have going on to help you get to your next level of success.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out the website. Do it, do it, do it. Now, you did. I brought them up. You brought them up. Let's talk about this. So you was the senior vice president working with Steve Harvey with the Global Foundation, correct? Steve Harvey Global. Am I correct? That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Now, how excited were you when you did receive that position?
Well, it's interesting because earlier we talked about mentors and investing in your coaching, and I was actually a part of a mastermind that I had invested in to learn how to just grow my business. I was working with, some of you may be very familiar with Lisa Nichols. Lisa Nichols was one of my coaches, and she's been a phenomenal impact on how I've been able to really grow my company and connect with my audience and connect with my clients. And in working with her, she introduced me to people on Steve's team as they were putting together this new line of business called Act Like a Success, which was designed to take a book that he was releasing about success principles and kind of bringing it to life. And she recommended me to run that business line for him. And I ran his operations, his marketing, his sales, as well as was his master coach in terms of coaching his community around entrepreneurship, marketing, sales, branding, personal transformation, finding your voice, purpose. And we were able to, touch thousands of lives through his Success Institute, touch millions of lives by sharing his message through TV and radio. And that experience taught me so much about what it means to have a platform that you use for good. He's really committed to helping people see the possibilities of what life could be like. And I think sometimes, for a variety of reasons, people stop dreaming. Like, I think for a variety of reasons, whether people think they're too old or whether they've tried and it didn't work, or whether they've watched close family members try to go after a dream and it doesn't work, or maybe they're just trying to get by. But there's this thing where people have let go of their dreams. And one of his commitments was to help people understand that you're never too old, it's never too late, you can get back up. And when you apply some of these principles that we taught throughout his Success Institute, that you could actually begin to get back that life and live out those dreams that you had that you may not have been pursuing.
Wow. Now, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a true story, and Miss Rainey probably don't even remember this. So a few years ago, I'm not going to lie, I'm on the Success Facebook page. So a few years ago, Doreen was actually promoting one of Steve's books. I think it was it about 2-3 years ago? Was it Think Like a, well, it was dealing with success.
Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success.
So I went and bought the book, and I took a picture with me in the book, and I posted on the Facebook page, guys. Make sure you go look for that. It's probably, you have to dig deep into that Facebook page to find it, because so much stuff has been up there. But you will see me, you'll see a lot of people up there. Make sure you check that out. Speaking of Facebook, Doreen, what is the best way for everyone to follow you on social media?
Yeah, so you can check out my Facebook page, which is facebook.com. The page is Doreen Rainey. And if you come to the page, you'll also find information about joining the different groups that we have, depending on what it is that you're focused on. Definitely follow me on Instagram. That's where we do a lot of our communications and posts. I am at Doreen Rainey. And you can also follow our Institute page at Radical Institute. And then also the latest and the greatest, if you have an iPhone and you're on Clubhouse, you can follow me on Clubhouse. And I do most of my rooms that I host in Clubhouse are for coaches. We do a room called the Profitable Life Coach, and helping you market, helping you attract clients, helping you build a real business, not just offer services, and helping you grow from that 5-figure to 6-figure to 7 figures. So those are the ways that you can connect with me on social media.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you connect with her on social media. I'm connected with her with everything except Clubhouse. So I'm going to do that after the show. I'm going to connect up with you on Clubhouse. I definitely am. So I'll be up there almost every other day. So most definitely going to do that. Now, Doreen, and you've been doing this for the whole show. So I'm going to still ask, even though you've done it for the last 30 minutes. What advice would you give any male or female that wants to become a life coach? They want to actually see success and help other people. What advice would you give them?
So the first piece of advice I would give is to make a real decision that you are going to treat this as a business. Many people become coaches because they have a heart to serve, because they're the go-to person, or they think they give good advice, or they've had a great experience that they want to help other people overcome. And all of those things are wonderful. But until you take on the mindset of a CEO and they put on the hat of an entrepreneur and a business owner, you're not going to be able to think the whole 360 of what it means to start and grow a business. And if you decide to use your coaching skills in business, that is what you are doing. You've now made a decision to build a business. We have a free resource for coaches. It's called the Profitable Life Coach Guide. And in that, we share the 5 assets every profitable coach must have in their business. And you can just go to theprofitablelifecoach.com to get that. It's absolutely free, but it will break down for you these 5 elements, and you'll be able to say, okay, do I have this? No, I don't. Do I have this? Yeah, but it's not quite right. And I think that when coaches have a strong foundation, they're able to really build a solid business without chasing clients, but attracting clients, and also being able to build a business that supports them, supports their family, supports their lifestyle, and supports their legacy.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've been writing down notes. She has basically gave you the secrets on how to get started through this whole interview. So I don't want to hear any excuses saying, I still don't know how. Oh, yes, you do. You watch this episode again, and you make sure you go to DoreenRainey.com to learn more. Also, make sure you check out the podcast. Check her out on social media. She is everywhere, and she's dropping jewels everywhere she go. You want to get rich in jewels? You better follow this lady. You better do it. Now, Doreen, last segment of the show is called Take the Floor. So you have up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want. No questions asked. Doreen, take the floor.
You know, I share this quite often with my clients and at my events, and it's my favorite quote of all time. And it is from Henry David Thoreau. And he says, most men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with their song still in them. And I think what's so powerful about this quote, it's in the breakdown. And so he says most men, meaning not some, not a few, not a couple, but most men and women, right? So the majority of people on this earth, most women, most men lead lives, meaning they've chosen this. They are leading themselves into this life. And what life are most people leading themselves into? Most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And a lot of times people will ask me, well, what is quiet desperation? Are you saying people are depressed or they're sad? And I don't think that's what quiet desperation is. I believe that quiet desperation is when you see what you were created to be, do, and have, and you are not bold enough to go make it happen. And so you stay stuck in ordinary, you stay stuck in regular, you stay stuck in relationships that don't serve you, you stay stuck in jobs that don't serve you, you stay stuck in alignment with people who don't feed your soul. And so that's what quiet desperation is. You want to break out, you see what's possible, you believe that that is what you can do, be, and have, but you just don't have the guts, you don't have the courage to go out there and make it happen. And that's what most people do. Most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And ultimately, they go to the grave with their song still in them. Meaning, what was destined for you, you did not taste. What was designed for you, you did not experience. The impact you were supposed to have was left incomplete. And so what I would like to say to you is, let's prove Henry David Thoreau wrong. You know, most men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with their song still in them. Let's just decide we will not be in that category. We are going to step boldly into the purpose, vision, gifts, and talents that have been given to us, and we are going to maximize them, not only to create a life and lifestyle that we want, but to ultimately serve, help, and impact the people for generations to come.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, strong words, strong words. Now, Doreen just told you guys, let's make it late night, guys, but ladies and gentlemen, let's make an impact. Today is the day to change your life. And let's go on to make that first move, that first step, whatever you're thinking about in your head that you want to do. If you thought about it, you imagine it, it can happen. So basically, like Doreen said, take the 7 steps, get up there, make your move. Once again, follow her on social media. Make sure you check out the website, check out the podcast. Thank you very much, Doreen, for coming on the show. I would love to have you back on in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. What a blast. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. And of course, my next show will be coming soon. And my next guest is, you know, I never announce my next guest. You have to stay tuned to find out who it's going to be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check out the website, check out everything else. Next time on the Big Scoop with Coop.